Welcome to the Deep Dive. Okay, today we're jumping into a book that honestly really shook up the psychological thriller scene, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides.
Mhm.
And we've got this great source material, a really comprehensive analysis that looks at just why this book blew up globally. Got everyone talking.
Right. And our goal here, for you listening, is basically to pull out the key takeaways from that analysis. We want to help you get a handle on what makes this book tick, why it feels so,
Well,
well, like the review says, chilling, absorbing, and absolutely unforgettable.
it grabs you right away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With this really haunting question that the analysis points to as key. If someone you loved suddenly stopped speaking after a horrific crime, would you still believe in them?
Exactly.
And that question, it just hangs there, right at the core of the whole mystery. Pulls you straight in.
And the setup itself is, oh, it sounds simple on the surface, but it's deeply unsettling. You have Alicia Berenson, right? Famous painter.
Yeah.
She shoots her husband, Gabriel, 5 times in the face, and then nothing.
Hmm.
Just stops speaking entirely.
Complete silence. It's chilling.
Totally. And that silence turns this awful event into this huge psychological puzzle. So she's sent to the Grove, this secure forensic unit in London. Still not talking.
Right.
Then the psychotherapist, Theo Faber, he gets like completely fixated on her case.
He thinks he can get her to talk.
He's convinced he's the one. But as she starts digging, it gets pretty clear pretty fast that her silence, it might actually be way more dangerous than anyone thinks.
And what really makes this silent patient pop, according to our source anyway, isn't just that shocking premise. It's the way the story's told.
Yeah.
It's kind of unique.
Structure,
It
yeah.
keeps switching,
Yeah.
Between Theo's view, his first-person story, and then these bits from Alicia's secret diary that turn up.
Which is such a smart move.
It is, because that back and forth, it mirrors how unreliable memory can be, right? It
Right.
throws you, the reader, into the same confusing headspace as Theo. You're constantly guessing, like, who's actually telling the truth here?
That ambiguity is key.
Definitely. And the author, Michaelides, he has this background in psychology and screenwriting.
Yeah.
And you can totally see that. He layers the story so well, full of secrets, emotion, and, yeah, like the analysis hints a twist that you probably won't see coming.
And it's interesting how he uses all that to get into some deeper stuff. I mean, lots of thrillers deal with trauma, obviously. But here, Alicia's silence feels like more than just a plot device. It's almost a symbol, how really deep trauma can literally take away someone's voice.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Is it a choice, a symptom, or something else?
Right. And the analysis also digs into themes like trust, obsession, Theo's obsession particularly, and even the kind of tricky ethics in therapy. It also mentions, kind of as a side note, that reading it as an ebook might be cool.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Because you can easily highlight clues and jump back to check details as things unfold. Sort of lets you play detective more easily, I guess.
Huh. That makes sense. So, okay, looking at the big picture then, beyond the plot and the twist everyone talks about, what's the overall takeaway about this book's impact?
Well, I think...
It seems like it really managed that tricky thing, right? Being a huge bestseller and something that genuinely makes you think.
Yeah.
Like proper psychological fiction.
Exactly. It hits both notes. It kind of lingers with you, you
Yeah.
know? A bit like Gone Girl, or maybe Shutter Island did. It stays in your head.
Yeah, definitely.
And what really seems to resonate, based on the discussion, is that it's not just a whodunit.
Right.
It's more of a why did they do it, and maybe even a what would you do in that situation, which pulls you in on a different level, I think.
Absolutely.
And the ratings kind of back that up, don't they? The review gave it like 4.5 out of 5 for plot, same for writing style, and then a perfect 5 out of 5 for the twist and ending.
Wow, a perfect 5. That's telling.
It really is.
So, turning it over to you listening.
Yeah.
If you've already read The Silent Patient, what was your take? Did that ending completely floor you, or did you kind of see it coming? Did you spot the clues?
Yeah, were you piecing it together?
And what about those themes? The silence, the obsession? What part of that really stood out for you?
And maybe just one final thought to leave you with, kind of building on that core mystery and that line about silence. Sometimes the most deafening sound is silence. It makes you think, doesn't it, about how silence works? Whether it's forced on someone or maybe used as a shield, or if it's just a sign of something really deep and messed up going on inside.
Yeah.
It can be a symptom, sure, but it can also be a weapon, right? Something that hides way, way more than it actually shows.